you have the pre-lit settlement mills, and then you have the litigators that get maximum value, right?
Right.
That are skilled, that are advocating for their clients. When you're thinking about that, and you already mentioned social media, how do you get in front of the consumers though? Like, what's the marketing approach from a biz dev side to not to make sure you're not distinguishing yourself like a mill with those lack of empathy based statements on the billboards and really hit your core audience?
I appreciate that you ask that, the way you asked that, especially because that has been our conundrum. Obviously, the law side, that we can figure that part out. The hardest part, the biggest learning curve has been the marketing side of it. And being in a saturated market like Los Angeles, where you are going up against these billboard, bus advertisers who have millions to pump into their marketing every month, we had to get creative. We saw social media and the opportunity to learn it in COVID. And Mike actually was the one who first jumped on. He didn't know what a hashtag was at the start of COVID. He didn't. He's like, what's a hashtag? Is that the dial number? I'm like, oh my God, I knew what that was. And so he signed up. Like, we started just as a student does. He signed up for a $200 a month virtual lesson from a stay-at-home mom in Indiana, who her audience was stay-at-home moms. Like, let me show you how to use the internet, or social media, to become a lifestyle influencer. He took that class. And it's the same concept, right? It doesn't matter what industry. And he learned hashtag, why hashtags are important, how you do. And I let him do that, and then he would download me. And we quickly realized, after we learned it, and we're still learning it, to separate ourselves and to differentiate ourselves, we have to be relatable. What those big mills and the $1 million marketing budgets don't have that we have is that we're real people. Our hearts are in it. This is our blood, sweat, and tears. This is, we eat what we kill. This is what we're sacrificing our time to do this from our children time, right? That's relatable. That cannot be conveyed on a billboard. That cannot be conveyed in a power suit person who doesn't even look like you, who doesn't even speak your language. I speak your language, and I look like this, That's the leverage we have. And sure, they can try to copy, and I know that I've seen some of it. Go ahead, try to copy, but you cannot fake authenticity. And we bank on our authenticity. My family's from East LA. I'm the product of a first-generation education. I wasn't first-generation. I grew up very well off. But my dad is, and I'm one generation removed from that. And there's nuances and sensitivities to that. So we identified the leverage we have as being authentic, as being just real people as well. One generation or one paycheck, if you will, removed from the real person. If people can identify what is their leverage? Are they into sports? Do they have a certain hobby? Do they have a thing? Like, my husband loves chickens. If you follow him, I can't tell. And goats. The chicken and goat posts get the most attention and most engagement. But that is such a read on the pulse of society and what the potential clients want. They don't want, yo soy un abogado, I'll fight for you. That's not even us. We don't even talk like that. Mm-hmm. But he can feed the chicken and be like, you know what this chicken reminds me of? In his southern drawl, this chicken reminds me of when you get hurt. I mean, he actually doesn't even do that because that's cheesy. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's how we address the marketing that's out there. And again, we bet on ourselves. That's the best bet you're going to make. And I would advise people not to put money into these marketing companies. They will wine and dine you and dazzle you with what they can promise you. Bet on yourself first. Bet on yourself first and maximize that. And get out of your comfort zone. It feels so weird to talk into a camera. I know, it's so weird. Who's going to listen to me? I'm embarrassed. What am I going to say? What if they don't like what I'm wearing? What if I... Get out of your way. Turn off the fear. And can I cuss on here?
Yeah.
Okay, because I cuss a lot. It's a sign of intelligence. And fucking go. What are you waiting for? Oh, but everyone's bigger than me. They have a bigger budget. I don't even know where to start. That. And really, those are part of the things that make people not competitive. They're stopping themselves. Versus get a chicken, or you love dogs, talk about your dogs. Talk about hockey. I don't know.
I think everything you said is like a masterclass in positioning. Genuinely.
We do it. We actually host them all the time because we know we figured it out, and we're still figuring it out because we're ever evolving. Things are changing so quickly, thankfully. And you don't change, you don't grow, you get left behind, and you die. You have to be pragmatic, and you must. So.
The execution there, everything you're saying is just resonating so much.
Yeah.
The thing that I think of is I hear a lot of attorneys say, you got to saturate a market, you got to saturate a market. I'm like, you do if you don't stand for something. You got to be hit over the head a million times before they finally remember you. Or you're unique and the chicken person, the what you're doing, it's memorable. You stand out, you're different, and you're relatable. And like, oh, hey, this individual likes animals. I like animals.
People love it. It's approachable. It's not intimidating. And we have to remember who our client base is. As you know, Marketing 101, you need to know who your clients are. Who are you talking to? Do not use legal jargon. They don't know what a statute of limitations is. I barely know what a statute of limitations is. You know, it's like, be relatable. You've got to talk, you've got to think like you're talking to someone who maybe has a high school education, if that. Little things, just it's the little nuances and the little sensitivities you have to be aware of. And having a bigger market share, absolutely, I agree with you. There's two theories. Yeah, bigger market share, owning the market. What are they doing for the community? Are they at the food drives every weekend like we are? Like, we're there. Are they sponsoring local high school scholarships consistently? Not a one-hit wonder, come in with all your banners and then you leave and have no more investment in the community? Go ahead. Good luck. Everyone knows your name, though.
I think there's so much to be said with that. Even the grassroots type of marketing that you're talking about and actually caring, and it's the giving without expecting anything in return, and then the return comes tenfold.
100%.
And all of that. The other thing, too, is we talk so much about social media marketing, and I agree. Amazing channels. That's wherever the audience congregates is an opportunity to advertise and connect. And I always tell people when they ask me, they're like, hey, do you guys do social media marketing? I'm like, no, honestly, you should do it in-house.
That's it.
You should have a video person there that can travel with you in the community, that can participate in the grassroots and get the real experience, as opposed to me trying to piece something together through Zoom or Riverside. It's inauthentic.
It's absolutely inauthentic, and you just become another unrelatable, non-approachable lawyer. Versus, I mean, you look, honestly, I love how you're presenting, because you look like a fun guy who is not intimidating, and I can actually tell you my problems, and I'm not embarrassed. I'm not, people have shame, or they're embarrassed, or they're worried or scared. People will come talk to you because you look like that. And that's authentically you,
Thank
probably
you.
have business pants on underneath that shirt, though, I bet you. They're probably slacks.
That's funny. Well, I try to. I think it's a better conversation when we're genuine and we get to the real issues and have this real, instead of stuffy conversations.
Those are the worst. I hate formality. I hate stuffy. Let's be organic. But then it goes back to you have to truly care, because and we know these people. I'm going to make all the money, I'm going to billboard and market share and Those people aren't even thinking on my plane. They are not even on our energy level. They're going to connect with a certain kind of client, and unfortunately, those clients are going to get screwed. They don't know any better. But if you connect with the same people in the same wavelength with you, and you have to be attuned to thinking that way. Altruistically, community-minded. Not every lead or not every marketing campaign is going to yield something. What's the ROI on that? Why are you doing those food drives? You're not getting any cases. The karmic bank that we have created, like you just said, it has paid out a billionfold and continues to. And business will naturally come. It's just you have to do it for the right reasons, and you don't force it. It's not going to work. People see right through that, and it backfires, as a matter of fact.